Good morning. I'd like to welcome everybody to the December 5th, 2024 Board of Public Works and Safety meeting. Roll call, please. Here?
Here.
Here. Any conflict of interest statements?
No, sir.
Approval of the minutes of the meeting of November 21st, 2024.
Motion to approve those minutes.
And I second them.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Bid openings, I don't see anything. Matters from other department heads or their representatives.
Good morning to the board.
Good morning.
On behalf of Mr. Kearney, I'd like to submit this to you regarding the demolition bid for 7352 Nebraska. Mr. Kearney stated that he would like to ask the board to re-award the bid to the next lowest responsive and responsible bidder who's contracting in the amount of $17,904. Those were pursuant to the bids that we've received and that you've received on June 1st of 2023. There was contact attempted to be made with the previously awarded low bidder on October 10th and August 12th of this year via email and via phone, but no response was received. That was DR Construction. Yeah. And so I'm going to present this to the board. Mr. Kearney's correspondence to the board requesting the board take that action to award it to the next lowest and responsive bidder, just because we've had no contact with the lowest bidder, and we're trying to get this building down before the end of the year.
Okay.
Motion to award the demo bid for 7352 Nebraska to the next lowest bidder.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anything else from department heads or their representatives? Okay, moving on to correspondence, letter A. Correspondence received from William Short, Chief of Police, requesting the approval for a temporary pause to the current hiring list and allow the department to proceed with emergency hire of certified officers. The approval for Officer Christian Luna to be appointed as a probationary member effective December 19th, 2024. Officer Ronald Davison is no longer a certified breath test operator and shall relinquish his CBO specialty pay effective October 31st, 2024. The following officers, Diego Diaz, Jaquan Pugh, Christopher Walsh, David Markert, Zachary Taylor, and Christopher Elkins will be promoted to the ranks of corporal effective December 21st, 2024. And the approval for officers Chad Thompson, Daniel Persek, and Gregory Flores to receive K-9 specialty pay effective November 6, 2024.
Motion to approve Chief Short's request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter B, correspondence received from Bernard Gazzolia, Fire Chief, requesting the approval of the resignation of Assistant Chief Danny Mishak, retroactive to November 26, 2024, and the approval of the letter of retirement from Assistant Chief Edward Lamalley, who has served the citizens of Hammond for 35 years, effective December 30th, 2024.
Motion to approve Chief Gazzolia's request.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter C, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $12,680 of CIB funding to be allocated for the electric vehicle charging station site development and the agreement for professional service with Nees Engineering submitted for approval.
Good morning, Board.
Good morning.
So the city received a grant in the amount of $133,000 to purchase electric vehicle charging stations. So with that, it doesn't include the installation. So we'd like to hire Nees Engineering to do the site development plans, both at City Hall and at the Hammond Sportsplex, to facilitate these devices. Monday night, the Capital Improvement Board approved the funding for this project, so I'd ask for your approval of the agreement and the funding allocation for Nees Engineering.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter D, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting $19,753.44 of CIB funding to be allocated for the Summer Street reconstruction and change orders number 1 through 4 submitted for approval.
This represents a 20% match. It's an 80-20 split. NERC Federal Highway covers the other 80%. And these are just minor, well, not so minor, I guess, fixes to the project, primarily in Columbia Avenue, where we had a unexpected sewer that we needed to tie back into, and so we had to relocate the where we were going to make the hydrostop to stop the water line where that was going to go. So this covers that. Funding was approved Monday night at the Capital Improvement Board. I'd ask for your approval of all 4 change orders and the funding allocation.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter E, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval of the Kennedy Avenue reconstruction change order number 2 with no additional cost.
Yeah, so this is just some corrective action items, but there's no overall cost implication to the project. We're adding and deducting some items in the project, but there's no cost increase. I'd ask for your approval.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Letter F, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval of the agreement with Norfolk Southern Railroad to allow for a conduit crossing of the NSRR on Kennedy Avenue near 169th Street, submitted for approval.
PD reached out to us to install a conduit for future fiber optic on Kennedy Avenue. Obviously, the railroad's in the way. Nice Engineering has helped us through the process of applying for the permit. They're going to help us, and we'll reimburse them for the cost of the protective liability, railroad liability insurance. All other insurance requirements are waived for the project. So this permits us to install that conduit underneath the railroad tracks. I'd ask for your approval of the agreement.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter G, correspondence received from Dean Button requesting the approval for the board president to execute documents relating to the property taken from Indiana Department of Transportation to purchase approximately 500 square feet of the northwest corner of the Kennedy North Sanitary and Storm Pump Station for the US 20 Michigan Street Bridge over Kennedy Avenue.
So this is a property taking action by the DOT, right? The Indiana Department of Transportation. They're rebuilding the bridge, the Michigan Bridge over Kennedy Avenue. And in order to do that, there's certain property taking in the northwest corner of the pump station, which is it's that off-ramp, eastbound approach to Michigan. It's a small triangle corner. I've checked with the sanitary district. They're okay with it. The pump station property is under the control of the civil city, but the sanitary district's it's their facility that's operating there. It's a very small corner in the northwest corner of the property. There are 4 separate documents for you to execute. We're asking for the board to approve the agreement with DOT, and that you would be the one to execute, so the board doesn't have to execute all 4 sets of 4 documents.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay, motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letter H, correspondence received from Pierogi Drop Chairman Andy Dybel requesting temporary street closures for the annual Knights of Columbus Pierogi Drop beginning on December 31st, 2024 at 10:30 p.m. until January 1st, 2025 at 1:30 a.m. and also requesting 8 barricades.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter I, correspondence received from Rudy Hampton, Harrison Park Community Watch Group, requesting to the Neighborhood Watch Program signs be replaced with new and clear imaging verbal signs along Homan Avenue and State Line with locations attached. I think so. Does anybody have any,
Do they meet the dimensions and all that kind of stuff?
who do we, I remember them asking about this a while back, but I don't remember what we decided.
Hello, I'm a member of the Harrison Park Community Group,
Okay.
and we've been trying to get through Citywide Crime Watch, the Community Affairs Division, funding and permission to replace the signs. Most of them have been put up like 10, 15 years ago. They've become faded and stuff. It's just basically when you're in a crime watch area, we call police that are posted along the parkways on State Line and Homan.
So how many total signs would you say it is?
It should be, the listing of all the locations should be attached to it.
Are they going to be placed in the current locations? or
Yes,
are
we're just trying to get the signs,
replacing them?
we're just trying to get the signs replaced, but the Harrison Park Group doesn't have the funding to pay for the signs and stuff.
It's
so.
10 signs total.
Who's getting funding? Where's the funding?
Well, you guys have your fund, right?
We don't really have a fund though. it's a small group right now that's been trying to rebuild.
I don't think we can't.
I'm,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, because there's other crime watch,
well, now, yeah, I don't think we can authorize payment to a private organization, through the board. And, I mean, my suggestion would be, for that kind of funding, they should apply to the mayor's gaming, what is it called? I forget. But
Gaming commission funds.
yeah, gaming commission funding, because that would be probably the best way to get that funding.
Because I think she sent letters to the council and stuff, asking for donations and stuff.
I think the best thing to do, because I mean, it's a great group, right? I mean, obviously, this is a good group, and we want to help them.
Right,
But I think the
absolutely.
best thing to do is get a price for them and apply to the mayor's gaming commission, because that's probably your best source of funding for something like this, I think. Yeah, and then, because I don't have a problem with the board giving the authority to have them replace the signs at this meeting, but I don't think there's like a source of funding through the Board of Works for this.
and we probably shouldn't okay it without knowing where the funding source is, correct?
Right, I would say contingent on, that way they don't have to come back, right?
Gotcha.
Contingent upon,
Contingent on
contingent
finding a
upon
funding
finding
source?
funding and,
Okay. Does that make, because what we're scared of or worried about is that every crime watcher comes and asks for signs, and we're
Right.
doing this all around the city, so that's
I
what we're
understand.
concerned about. So-
yeah, I mean, if there's another funding source that you find, Rich, or that the organization finds, that's fine.
Absolutely.
Or even like, try to raise money or donations. I don't even, what's the total cost, you know?
I don't have the cost with me now.
Yeah, it can't be a ton, 10 metal signs.
It doesn't have a cost, but
By the way, does the National Crime Watch Organization, do they make these signs available, or who makes those signs available?
I'm not sure. Ruby
Yeah.
just took over like last year or so, so she's still trying to figure out the ways of getting things.
yeah, I wonder
Yeah.
if there's a grant or something for this kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
I would think so, or maybe they make them available. I just think it's not, it wouldn't be unusual, I wouldn't think, for a crime watch to try to get these signs.
Well, we can approve like you said, the approval to replace the signs once a funding source is located, okay? I think we're willing to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Motion to approve the request contingent upon them finding a funding source.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter J, correspondence received from Enrique Meza, Hammond Optimus Youth Sports, requesting approval for their opening day parade on Saturday, May 3rd, 2025, starting at 10 a.m. with parade route attached. You done this before?
Yeah, we did.
We're good? You're
Yeah,
good?
we're good.
Okay. I think we're good.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 8, matters from board members. Anything from either of you? Okay. Number 9, new business, letter A, collective bargain agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police, Hammond Lodge 51, submitted for approval.
Mr. President, Board, I can report to the board that this was a productive and successful negotiation that I know Ms. Greenwell was at many of the meetings, if not all of them, and we would request the approval as submitted. I know the mayor spoke to the council on this and has indicated that he's very pleased with the agreement. It puts Hammond police officers on par, if not above par, with most police officers in the area. And I think he described it as something he's very proud of. So I think it sets up our police department for the future. And I know you know this, Chief Long, that it's something that I think was needed. And the mayor recognized that, and I think that's reflected in the contract. So I'd request its approval.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter B, agreement to rehabilitate property located at 5629 Calumet Avenue, submitted for approval.
So this has been a long-standing property. If it's on the east side of the street down here. It's a shared wall situation. It used to be like Howard Construction, I think, was on one of it. It's pretty bad in the front.
It is.
The 5627, which is the property to the north, is currently under a demo order, and we've given the 10-day notice we've given the get out your stuff letter to the owner. Redevelopment also owns a little property in the back of that parcel. It's almost on the alley line, I think. That's also going to come down. This is the property to the south that the current owner wants to rehab. So we would request this be approved as submitted. So, and also set a status for the expiration, or near the expiration date, which should be at the top of page 1.
March 5th is the expiration date, so we'll find the date here, just hold on one second. You want to do the day after,
Sure.
March 6th? Is that okay? Okay.
Okay, motion to approve and set for status for March 6, 2025.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter C, disposal authorizations received from Police Department submitted for approval. Well, we're good workers. What do I say? Okay.
Oh, gosh. Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter D, request for late business license hearing submitted for approval.
Motion to set that for December 19th, 2024.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Number 10, old business, letter A, late business license hearing for Centier, 5433 Holman Avenue.
They were going to request for next week, but they weren't able to make it.
Does he know that? Does he know
No,
that?
do you know that,
No.
yeah,
Okay.
they didn't, I guess they called upstairs to law and they wanted requesting next week.
All right.
So we're going to set this aside till next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion to defer till next week's meeting.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All righty.
Letter B, status for 6333 Garfield.
We don't see anybody from 6333 Garfield? Weren't they just in a couple weeks ago?
It's only for, the contractor, if the contractor is, pass the test.
You did? Great. So you passed the test, yes. Great.
Oh, I remember that, yes.
Yep, so
Great.
it was set from November 7th to today. So I would say if we could set it over to the next date, I think they probably need 60 to 90 days, so we could get maybe a 90-day status. Okay.
The 13th, March 13th?
Sure. Order to appear. And then set up an interpreter.
Motion to set the matter for status for March 13th, 2025, and notice to the owner to appear.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter C, status for 5235 State Line.
All right. So last time we were here, which was on October 3rd, Mr. Flores and his contractor, who's also here today, reported that the drywall on the first and second floor was being done, and they needed 60 days, and we set it for status today.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Could you give us your name, please?
Martin Flores.
Okay, and can you give us a status update with the property?
It's almost done. I got problems with the plumber. Yeah, and
Again?
it take long time to be done and the.
Well, there's some major
I started
plumbing
a new
problems
floor.
going on over there.
Yeah,
I started the floors, I paint the house
Everything
everywhere,
is done, but-
but just in the bathrooms,
The bedroom
bedroom,
is
It's
not
not finished
ready. The
because
kitchen is
the
not.
plumbing, you
The
know.
plumbing, I wait for the plumbing and I keep.
We've had a lot of plumbing problems here.
Yes.
Yeah, were you still using the same one?
No, it's not the same one. It's different. It's only in the house, inside the house right
Who
now.
are you using, plumber? Who's the plumber?
What kind of plumber?
it's,
What is the name? ¿Cuál es el nombre de él?
I forgot that plumbing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna at least call him out here at the meeting.
Yeah, because he calling for year and
I tell the matches
he don't
and
come.
everything,
He don't.
zero answer
He don't
me.
show up.
I
Yeah,
gave him money
and I don't know.
for all the job in Chicago.
Is this the first plumber, or is this the second or third plumber?
No, it's a
It's the sick.
the same problem.
The same
But
problem.
when we have some problem over there, they charge 16,000 for the line.
Yes.
That's
I remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
I get another plumbing for they charge 10,000.
Wow.
They
That's a,
charge 10,000. We get it. When we do that, he angry with me.
wow.
You
Okay,
know?
I get it. So what is the drywall done?
Yeah, drywall,
Everything's
floor.
done with the plumber.
Yeah.
Wow.
I paint already.
Everything's done but the plumbing.
Everything's going to plumbing.
Only the
Just don't
bedroom.
use the bathroom.
Yeah.
Are you still planning on renting out the upstairs? And then,
When that's
and
finished, yeah, when they're finished, but.
when it's finished, so the plan is to rent out the upstairs?
Yeah.
And what about the first floor?
Just need to finish too.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know when.
But is it going to be an apartment, or is it going to be like a store?
Like a store, little
It
store.
is going to be a
yeah.
little store?
Yeah.
Okay.
Downstairs.
So that's still the plan, is commercial. This is the old Judy's Music on
Yep.
State Line. So it's I mean, I think we're all happy that it's getting reused. The question is, and I haven't got any recent photos. Nick, do you have any recent photos of this? Okay, so I think, do you know anything about whether the inspections were done outside of the?
Yes.
Bill was waiting on, I think there was rough framing, but there was no finals yet, and none of the plumbing inspections yet called in.
Okay, so obviously no plumbing inspection. How much, what do you guys think for time-wise? Because, I mean, you guys are right at the finish line.
I can start it get another plumbing, but I don't know if I get that plumbing, you know.
Yeah, because I'm worried now that the holidays are here, are we going to be able to get somebody out there or not?
All the rough inspections have passed.
Okay,
That being said, I asked them to send me an email regarding the contractor, so I can get in touch with the contractor and find out if he's going to finish the job or what his time frame is.
okay.
More or less put some pressure on him to get the job done, as long as this has been hanging out there, so they don't have to come back and we don't have to deal with it again. So if they'd send me an email, so I have actual, circumstances to adjust with the contractor and try to get him to get this job done and let these people off the hook. So 60 days, 90 days.
Can you get Kelly the information about the plumber?
Yeah.
Can you get him the name and information?
I have no problem contacting them and finding out what they're going to be doing.
Oh, okay.
And if we have to go to another plumber, we'll do that.
I give you everything.
Do you want to do the March 13th date again, or you
I'd
want
like to
shorter?
go sooner.
60
shorter,
days?
Shorter. I mean, do we need 60? How much time, if you get the plumber out, is he going to take to
¿Cuánto
finish?
tiempo quiere para que del plomero?
If he comes out today, how long would it take? If he was there today,
No,
well,
if he do that today,
how long?
an amount I ready, because it's less amount, but I get amount,
Less
I don't know
amount.
what time, how long he finishes over there.
Middle of January, end of
Yeah,
January?
I think so.
Middle of
I'd
January?
like to get it. Yeah. And then you call for inspection, right, after he comes in? You call for the final?
Yeah, but we need a plumbing,
Yep.
But I started already the floor, I paint the ceiling, the wall,
And
everything. it's
Can we get some
paint.
photos, Kelly, next time?
Yeah, can we please? January 16th, Kevin?
January 17th? 16th? Yeah.
16th, yeah.
A motion to set the matter for status for January 16th, 2025.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Dígale que si le dan hasta-
Okay, guys,
Mr. Soto?
Mr. Soto, you got to be back here
Yeah.
on January 16th.
Okay.
And hopefully there's been some progress with the plumbing.
Dígale que se le pueden
Kelly,
dar
you'll
otro
follow up
mes.
on that.
No, si lo termino, el problema es el plomero, si el plomero fixe.
Can you make sure that Mr. Carney gets the name of the plumber?
Okay,
Okay.
moving on. Yeah. Letter D, status for 251 Detroit.
All right. Ms. La Paz was here last time. I don't see her today, although we did send a letter for her to appear. She had reported back in October, on October 3rd, that she got an estimate for plumbing. Here we go again. $10,000 to $15,000, and which was going to be going to be difficult for her from a budgetary perspective. She also said the house was to be painted, and she had fixed 4 of the windows. And so we said it today, the house was to be painted and 4 of the windows were to be fixed by the end of November, so we set it for today.
Okay.
She's not appeared, obviously. I don't know if there's a report from the inspector. Rich, is that you, or no, that's third? Okay, is Rob here? No, okay. So, okay, do we have any photos of, did the house get painted, or? Okay. I wouldn't mind getting that January date then to see if she'll report over.
January 16th?
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion to set the matter for status for January 16th, 2025.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter E, status for 2314 Indianapolis Boulevard.
I see Mr. Ron here. So this was up on October 3rd. Sandy, you want to come up? Okay. And Mr. Rana was present. She said the old contractor's back on the
Ma'am.
job and it's 75%.
Sorry, can you step over here?
Yep,
Thank you.
you can leave that over there. 75% done. Serrano's back on the job. We set it for today for status.
Good morning. Could you give us your name and the status of the property?
Yes, my name is Sandra Arana.
Can you pull that down? There you go. There you go.
Sorry, I'm a little
That's
bit
okay.
sick. I'm Sandra Arana, and I'm the owner to 2314 Indianapolis Boulevard. I've been having problems with my contractor. You know, he haven't been responding to over our contract, and you guys give me extension for the past 3 months. And I was out of the town for family matters, and I was expecting he coming to get the permits, but he didn't. He just called me this morning. He said he gonna come and get the permits.
Oh, so you did speak with him this morning?
Yeah, well, last night he texted me because I told him, I don't know, I feel embarrassing, you know, to come in and I don't want you guys to think I'm taking advantage. And he just said, text me and say, I'm gonna come and get the permits today. And I was like, okay. I say, why you have to wait alone?
Who is the contractor, ma'am?
Manuel Serranos,
Manuel Serranos?
yes.
Do we know him?
Yes, Serrano. Yeah, he comes in a while. He's
Can we maybe, kind of same thing you were going to do, Kelly, with the other one, like what's going on? Because I don't like the idea of the board, I know the board doesn't like it when they get a report that like, he got called the day of the meeting. Because it sounds like they're just dragging their feet.
Right.
So we can maybe call Mr. Serrano? Okay,
So are we using that January 16th date?
I think so, because we got to keep this on the
Yep, I agree.
burner.
Motion to set the matter for status for January 16th, 2025.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, ma'am, January 16th, hopefully he can pull the permits and start getting some work done, okay?
Otherwise, I was thinking to hire Soto. You know, I have to do something because I've been waiting for too long.
Just don't have any plumbing problems, that's all. Okay, have a good day, thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Okay, status for 3054 Crane.
So on 3054 Crane, this was a garage-only situation. I don't know if anyone's here for that. Okay, great. Hi.
I wasn't sure.
So Mr. Leonard is present. He was here before. I think if I'm not mistaken, you're Vincent or no?
I'm his brother.
Okay, so here's the thing. Mr. Leonard did report last time that my notes show that they'll put the door on. So here's the current state of affairs that this morning reported Mr. Cole.
Okay.
Mr. Cole's just handed me those photos. So those are taken this morning by our 6th District Inspector. At this point, it doesn't look like the garage, oh, I'm sorry, I can also give you these photos back from October, just for comparison.
Okay.
Looks like nothing's
Very
been
similar.
done, which is a
Trees were-
concern, of course.
trees died.
We did not proceed to bid this out because the Leonards mentioned that they would put the door back on. They have not, so my position at this point would be to get the bid out to demolish the garage.
Can you give us your name, sir?
Joseph Leonard.
Joseph, okay, and can you tell us what the plans are?
There's been extenuating circumstances. My brother was in a car crash, shattered his pelvis, both legs, shins. And since this has been going on, he was in the hospital for like 2 months. It's been a real, it's
Is
not
that
been fun.
Vincent?
Yes.
Okay.
And
then-
he's primarily in charge of this. Now, knowing now what's happening, I'm going to be taking charge. He's already called people today, which apparently is frowned upon, but the ball is moving and it will be moved in the proper direction. But as I said, he's been in the hospital for 2 months. I mean, I have paperwork. It's been a disaster.
So Jeffrey, is Marcia and Vincent, those are your parents? Or Marcia
Marcia is
is your mother?
Yeah, she's my mother.
Okay, and does she live at the premises?
Yes, sir.
And Vincent and you also do?
Yes, sir.
Okay, got it.
But as I said, this will be taken care of. But
Well, I just want to make something clear. It's only frowned upon because when we asked for something to be done a couple months ago, and then you show up today and the call was made today, it gives us the idea that you guys are not serious about it. And if your brother did, I'm sorry to hear about your brother, but did you think about contacting somebody from the city and saying, hey, this is going on? Did that happen at all?
I have not been given permission to do such until today.
Okay,
So it's out of my hand. You know what I'm saying?
I get it. So then what would be the expectation of getting this door replaced?
as soon as humanly possible.
Well, what does that mean, though? Have you talked to somebody already?
He's talking to someone today. I will be talking to people myself. I will make this happen. This is not something, I did not want to kick the ball down.
Can I ask, is funding, are you going to be able to fund this? Is that something that's not a problem?
It's not a problem, but I mean, it's not a problem, but I mean, obviously, a little bit of shopping around for sure, but I mean, it shouldn't be necessarily a problem.
Yeah, and so just, so you know, this was, you know, a lot of this stuff is complaint-driven. My understanding from Mr. Coles is that he's received several complaints from people driving by and also
Yeah.
just through 311 that it's an eyesore, and I
Oh,
think it
yeah, it's
is.
a
Definitely is, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have anything in the garage?
Yeah.
There's a
but-
car in there, I can see.
Yep.
Is the car operational or no?
It's not operational, but we're just gonna junk it, you know what I mean? So it's not an issue. As I said, now that I've been given permission to actually do this autonomously.
Can we give them a very short window?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still gonna, I think, stick it on the next bid just in case,
Okay.
but, and just to let them know, let the Leonards know that we are gonna bid this out. So, but I have no problem setting it over for status to check in on January. It's the holidays, so sometimes it's hard to get a contractor and it's cold out, so I don't know what kind of work they'll be able to do on that. But I think at the very least, we should ask Mr. Leonard to update Mr. Coles to let him know if he does get bids. And that way he can know that there's gonna be a contract pulled and stuff. So when we come back on January 16th would be my suggestion that we have some report. And that way at least the communication will keep going.
Okay, and Mr. Linder, I don't know if you could, but at least could you pick up that stuff that's on the outside there?
Yes,
I mean, there's
sir.
a lot of debris laying there. If you could at least do that as soon as possible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so January 16th, we're going to set this for status, and we would really hope that you have completed the job by then, or it's well along the way, okay?
All right. I appreciate your
Okay,
grace on that angle.
Motion to set the matter for status for January 16th, 2025.
I second.
all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank
Thank you
so
for
much.
being
Thank
here.
you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Letter G, gas station exemption renewals. Letter A, 4450 Calumet Avenue, the Citgo.
Everyone's pretty much done everything. They got, still waiting on dumpster enclosures, but they have the permits pulled.
Okay.
Good morning. So, first up, I believe is 4450, the Sitco at the corner
Yeah.
there. This, well, he can introduce himself, but this is Sonny. You know, we've been working with him the last couple of years on multiple properties. He's always been very responsive. So, long story short, you know, I know there was a series of things at all three of these gas stations, like dumpster enclosures, painting the ADA parking space, painting bollards and railings. And I'm happy to say that, you know, that has gotten done. At his property, you know, they posted the address numbers. They did put slip covers over the bollards. He did repaint the ADA space so it's large enough and in the right location.
For 4450 Calumet.
Yeah, so they tore down a garage there, or an old building of some kind, and they placed parking in that area. So now they actually have a little more breathing room because it's a
Just
very
give us
crowded site.
I'm trying to think, 4450, the Citgo, is that the one at Gosselin?
Yeah, northwest corner.
Yep.
Northwest corner.
Yeah.
Yep, got it.
Yeah. So, you know, they did pull a permit with all type fence to cover up the north end of the property so that, you know, trash isn't blowing into the other neighbors and stuff like that. But, you know, from my understanding, pretty much what was asked has been taken care of.
So one of the concerns we have at 4450 Calumet is
Oh,
that they
okay,
did
yeah.
have the contractor there, but the contractor left, I don't know if Sonny's familiar with this issue, but the contractor left the like the sidewalk like that, and it's not necessarily, okay, it's not, I mean, I don't want to say it's their, they didn't do it, but their contractor did, and that's definitely a concern, right? So if we could get the contractor's name and information, do we have that?
Do you think that's for the
We
demo,
should have it right,
probably?
yeah.
Whoever did the demo, right?
Yeah.
I can send that over, yeah.
Yeah, because we just need, that's
Yeah.
gonna be a problem for us, especially because the sidewalk's crowned like that. I think, Dean, have you seen that, Dean?
Nick mentioned it to me yesterday, the contractor who fixes it has to be pre-approved by NDOT to do the work.
Okay, so would they go through your office, or should they go through, what's the best way to get this done? As quickly as possible, I guess.
I mean, we can get it on the list of NDOT pre-qualified contractors.
Okay, that might be best, right? So Nick, you'll work with Sonny to get the information. Thanks, Dean. Thank you. Okay. So it sounds like somebody's gonna have to get out there and fix that though, right? Okay, and that's important, that's on Calumet Avenue.
Right. So, but is that that's not gonna, is that an issue that would hold up the,
No, I don't think it should be an issue to hold up the renewal
Renewal.
of the exception, but I think we want to make sure that maybe we set it for, maybe have Nick come back and report maybe in 60 days to find out the status of that sidewalk.
okay,
Just to, maybe I'm sorry, not Tom.
Sometime in
Just to know that
February.
report back.
so you, when were you there last time? Did you?
I was there literally this morning,
Okay, okay.
around 7 a.m.
Middle of February.
At 4450.
Yeah, at all three of these.
Is February 13th okay for?
Yeah, it would just be a status for Mr. Novak to report back, or Mr. Farrell to report back on the status of the sidewalk.
So are we granting the renewal contingent on that being completed? Or just,
I'm fine granting the renewal on the
Okay.
exception, but this is something that we need to
Gotcha.
kind of deal with during the year.
okay,
Motion to approve the exception and set the matter for status for February 13th, 2025.
I second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, letter B, 5228 Columbia, the Citgo.
Yeah, so this was another one. The ADA space was faded in the wrong size. There was a pothole around a wellhead near the south entrance. They got patched with concrete. They repainted the lines. They did clear out a lot of the signs from the windows.
Is the address posted?
Yeah, when I went, yeah. So it's posted on the alley fence, I
Dumpster
believe, right?
enclosure?
So the dumpster enclosure, so for this one, they went with all-type fence who did work at their other properties. Permits pulled, it just, all-type hasn't gotten to it yet, but I know all-type was starting at their other property, so. So all-type's been out working on their other property. I assume he's gonna come to this property next.
Yeah.
Okay. So are we?
Yeah, I mean, I think, so the last time we were here, there was a significant concern about this property in particular, that as compared to other properties that Mr. Novak had brought before the board, had not complied with what it, needed to be done. It sounds like they are, and it sounds like they got the message. So if Mr. Novak's fine with it, I have no problem recommending the exception to be renewed.
Yeah, that's fine, yeah, because for example, I think the light, there were some light posts that were bent, they also fixed that. I mean, there were a number of things, but I'm fine with it.
Okay, remind, what are the hours for this particular station? I
This
know-
one does not have 12 to 5. I
Right.
think it's like a
11:30 to
11 to 3, okay.
11 to 3, okay.
11 to 3, right?
Okay, no work with T.
I'm sorry.
You okay
Motion
with
to approve.
I second.
All in favor?
I did have a
Excuse me.
request, if I
Sorry.
can, we wanted to get an extra hour there to stay open, because we're getting a lot of customers at night. And we're also noticing that there's a lot of vape shops opening that are 24/7. So we're like very confused why vape shops could be 24/7, but like this gas station can't.
What vape shops are you talking about?
There's like 3 on Dosland.
They're open all
So,
night?
yeah, the sign says open 24/7, they're open 24/7. I think the superstore or whatever.
Well, I mean, that's something we'll look into, but that's
Yeah.
completely different than a gas station,
Yeah.
so. So you're asking for what, 11 to 4 is what you're asking for?
11 to, what's the hours right now?
You said 11 to 3 was
Yeah,
8 hours.
But I mean, the ordinance allows to open till midnight, so I'm surprised.
So can we do 12 to 3?
Linda, what is it?
Oh, you know what?
Oh. No, I think I looked with it. It's probably about this. Probably do here somewhere. Hold on.
Yeah, so it says, well, on this chart, it says restriction open at 4 a.m.
And close at
Yeah.
midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, we let them open early. That was the deal with this gas station.
Just one.
Early. we
Yeah,
start
instead of 5, we let them open
Yeah.
earlier.
4.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So they're closed 12 to 4?
yes.
Yes.
Instead of 12 to 5, they're closed 12 to 4. We don't have a chart. Okay.
She gave it to me,
That's
folder.
fine. If Nick's got, or Tom, you have it?
Well, I have a chart, but it doesn't say the close time.
Yeah, hold on here, let me find it. Yeah, restriction open at 4 a.m., so they must be closed from 12 to 4. So, you're,
Because if you remember, this was one that's kind of sitting in the neighborhood.
yep,
It serves a lot of, if I remember the testimony from last year, the testimony was it serves kind of the neighborhood behind it, like down Michigan and
Right.
between Columbia and Calumet.
Yeah, there's
Wolfboro,
really
all
nothing
that
along that area.
Right. And it's across from the sanitary district, if I'm not mistaken.
So Sonny, what's your request?
12 to 3,
To be,
open.
you
To
want
open
to
at
not-
3 instead of 4.
oh, just 1 hour extra to be
Yeah.
open?
So
Yeah.
close 12 to 3.
12 to 3.
Yeah, and then run
because-
trial and error, because we haven't seen any crime, increase at, opening
I mean,
at 4.
he is correct about that part. So,
So-
I mean, I'm okay with extending it to, opening at 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right. We kind of do this on a trial and error, like Sonny mentioned. So if the board wants to extend it for another hour and see what happens.
Okay.
If you get complaints, we'll have to set it.
And
for
and you can understand that, Sonny,
Yeah.
if there's problems, and we
Definitely.
come
yeah.
back, okay.
All right.
Motion to approve the exception and allow for an opening at 3 a.m.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Okay, moving on to letter C, 4508 Columbia Avenue.
Yeah,
Mr. Witham was here last time.
yeah, I'm not sure why he,
Anybody here on this address, 4508 Columbia gas station? So just to set the record, Mr. Witham was here last time with, I believe, the Nice and Easy owner. This is the property just across the street from 44.
yeah, for the first one we heard.
Yeah, 44, I'm sorry, 4448.
Southwest corner of Gosselin and
Yep.
Calumet, yeah.
And there was definitely a concern about the message sign. Mr. Witham was speaking to a painting company to touch up the railings. Mr. Novak had informed Mr. Witham about the other issues at the property. He's usually pretty responsive. I'm surprised he's not here. Rich, do you have anything to report? Yeah, it does say 4508 Columbia. It's supposed to be Calumet.
Calumet Avenue, yeah,
Yeah, we'll make sure, yeah. But yeah, he had been in contact with me since. I know he spoke to Chris Goteen, the PD, about Fusus and fixing those camera angles. I think they were in the process, or that is done, but they did. Chris explained to him what was wrong and that, they can his company can reach out to him to fix it. On my end, zoning, they did stripe an ADA space and 2 spaces on the north end of the building. Very tight lot, but they fit what they could there. They did get someone out to paint the railings and the bollards, and that temp sign on the north wall has been turned off, and when they paint the whole building next year, they're gonna remove that and paint, because they don't want to remove the sign until they come to paint the building next year. But it's turned off. It's an electronic message sign that was put up illegally. But, I think the other big thing was the dumpster enclosure. And that, they also went with all-type fence, and all-type fence also pulled a permit, so, hopefully they
When
can,
they get to it.
yeah,
Because if they pull the permit, that's good. I mean, at least we know they're under contract.
yes.
One issue I do have with the property though, because they also own the residential house across the alley from
Right
it
behind
there.
it,
And the alley line gets totally overgrown, both on the gas station side and the
Yeah,
house. So we do get in contact with them again, if we can have them maintain the property, both sides of the alley.
Have you been in contact with him about that?
I,
Because that's an issue that we've spoke with him about before.
That's the
Yeah.
problem, right? At my house?
yeah, that house they own.
Yeah, it's across the
And as you
alleyway.
go
Yeah, yeah.
south on the alley, it gets overgrown. I get complaints now and then from Public Works about their trucks having to dodge the branches and everything back there.
And they purchased it with the hope of expanding, but, yeah, it's,
Has he ever been cited for the weeds?
I believe I cited them about 3 years ago, and they kind of cleaned it up, but it just
it
keeps
might have been
coming
under
back.
different ownership at that time, right?
No, I think they had
They had
them
it
both
back
at
then?
the-
Okay,
at
okay,
that
okay.
time.
Okay.
That was around the time they purchased it.
Okay.
Because all I'll say is they were very slow-moving with Fusus, the cameras. Very slow-moving. So I don't want to use the word uncooperative, but they weren't exactly rushing to get it done either.
Anxious.
No, yeah.
So we are paying attention to that part of it.
Okay, good.
And I would hope that with the weeds and anything else that needs to be done, that you guys, when necessary, ticket. I mean,
Yep.
that's the only way it's going to get fixed.
I will.
So,
If the board wants to ask them to appear before the end of the year, I have no problem with that. If you think if Mr. Novak or Mr. Castro thinks there's other issues that need to be addressed with them. They were ordered to appear today.
yes, I know, that's why I'm kind of wondering why they're not here.
I'm surprised. I talked to him, I mean, I spoke to him, probably 3 weeks ago or so about this, but
And they haven't missed in the past.
Right,
so I don't know
right.
if it was just a,
Well, so are you two satisfied, other than the weeds, is there any other issues that would warrant not granting this
no,
today?
I'm satisfied with what he got done in the last, he kind of came together and got a lot done in the last month.
Okay, then I will say we renew it today, but if the fuses thing continues to be a problem going forward,
Yeah.
we'll bring them back.
yep, that's fair.
Okay, okay.
That makes sense to me, thank
Okay.
you.
Motion to approve the exception.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Letter H, authority to go to bid on property located at 28 through 34 Ruth.
The board's well aware of this property. I just wanted to report, and I don't know if I put this on the agenda, I asked to have this on the agenda rather, and thank you for putting it on the agenda, because since the last time I think I was in front of you, the appeal has been dismissed by the Court of Appeals. They appealed Judge Parent's decision to dismiss their appeal of this board. And I wanted to report to the board that the Court of Appeals, because the owner didn't file their brief, didn't do anything, they just filed a notice of appeal. Court of Appeals in Indianapolis also dismissed their appeal. So it's good to go to bid. I have submitted to Mr. Kearney and Ms. Miller up at Community Development a draft of the board packet, because we are going to be using Community Development grant funds for this demolition for their review. And I just wanted the board, which I think they've already granted me the authority to go to bid on this. I want to make sure that they grant Mr. Kearney as the enforcement authority, the authority again to go to bid.
Okay. Good. So we're just approving the demolition?
Approving the authority to go to bid.
Go to bid, okay.
Motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Letter I, emergency order to demolish property located at 940 Field Street.
Good morning again.
Good morning.
We did put this on an emergency demo bid last week, but we had a problem with the parcel number. So I'll present this to you.
Okay.
All proper paperwork's in place. We're trying to get this down as soon as possible. It is in very bad shape and currently fenced off to try to keep people out, but my concern is that people will be getting in and doing what they do, start a fire or something like that. So we're trying to get it down as soon as possible.
And just to add to what Mr. Kearney, and I wasn't here when the original notice was filed, I wanted to make sure that it was clear, a couple things. One, we do have a valid and enforceable demolition order from 2022, I believe. The property has been bid out, maybe it was from 21. The property was bid out thereafter, and so I believe that takes care of the 2-year issue. However, just to be super safe, and the condition of the property has significantly declined since the original demolition order was in. I mean, the board, I think, heard that the floor was described as like spongy,
Right.
and also that the roof had caved in and collapsed. So it is definitely fits, in my opinion, the definition of emergency under the act. It's been Mr. Kearney's opinion that the only remedy would be to demolish the whole structure. We will make sure that we get a copy of this after it's recorded, because Linda will record it immediately after the hearing. If you guys, once you acknowledge this, we'll get a copy of that to the owner, who lives in Texas, I believe, or at least one of the relatives lives in Texas, and the ownership is listed in Texas. And so we would just request that you acknowledge Mr. Kearney's request, not a request, just notice of an emergency demolition under the act.
So we're approving the emergency orders that we're doing?
Not really, because he doesn't really have to give notice. He doesn't have to give notice like you would in a regular situation. So I think as long as you just
acknowledge
that
Okay,
you've received it.
So acknowledged.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Was that something we need to?
Yeah, I had one other thing on the Fusus issue. I'd request the board to go back on the agenda to the last gas station.
4508 Calumet Avenue?
Yes. Did I understand the board to indicate that there is no Fusus there, or there's a Fusus issue?
No, there is. The camera angles they weren't exactly cooperating with the camera angles.
Okay, so are we going to need to have Lieutenant Godey go out there and?
I haven't spoke with him this morning about it, but I will make sure that's taken care of right away. I just know that we were getting shots of like a storage room and stuff like that, not the angles that we would need for sure.
Got it, okay.
You good with that?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. Late rental registration hearings, letter A, 235 Conkey. For Conkey and Highland? Okay, gotcha. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you give us his name, please?
¿Su nombre?
Jaime Ramírez Flores.
Jaime Ramirez Flores.
And could you ask him why he was late on both properties?
Porque está tarde en su...
Es que el 25 de diciembre yo viajo a México para quedarme allá por el tiempo del
Excuse me.
invierno.
Sorry, can you move to
speak
the
in the
mic?
mic? Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
En el tiempo del invierno y dejé a una persona encargada de que recolectara mi renta y diera el pago y no lo hizo y
Espérame tantito. He said that he goes every year to Mexico, December 25th, and he leaves somebody in charge of collecting rent and paying the rental registration,
no lo pagó
and they didn't pay it.
y terminó robándose mi renta y no lo volví a ver y yo pensé que había venido a pagar.
The guy stole all the money from him, and he thought he paid the rental registration, so that's why he's late.
So for both properties, we have single-family homes. We're here for 2024. Both were brought in front of the board previously. It looks like, yeah, in 2022 to appeal the late fee for 2021, which was granted.
For both properties, Nick? Sorry.
Correct.
Basically,
Now, there's no additional concerns with 511 Highland. However, for the Conkey Street address, there is a homestead that is applied to this rental property. And so I request that the owner complete the highlighted sections of the homestead removal form so we can have that filed with Lake County and have it removed, since his home address is in, I believe, Homer Lee in East Chicago.
So usted tiene que llenar esta forma porque
The
es-
Conkey address also,
que está viviendo ahí por los
every
taxes
year,
con el
beginning in '21, there's been warning notices issued.
Que estoy
21
viviendo ¿dónde?
was for overgrowth, garbage nuisance, tree stumps. 22, garbage nuisance, property maintenance, trash on ground. 23, junk vehicles, property maintenance, business licenses. I believe the tenant was operating, somewhat of a public garage out of the property. And then just the homestead. Other than that, there hasn't been any citations needed, so after Abel would send the warning, it looked like, things were brought into compliance. But that's all I have for these two.
Okay. So does he understand the homestead part of it? Can you make sure he
¿Usted
understands that
entiende
part?
esta forma?
No.
Es porque no vive allí y tiene un homestead ahí en su casa.
¿Dónde está? ¿Qué dirección es?
Este es para, 235 Conkey.
Ok,
Es una casa de renta, ¿no? Es un rental property.
al primer piso, sí.
He can only claim it on his primary
No,
residence.
no,
Tiene que llenar esa forma con el condado para que quiten el homestead.
yo vivo en este domicilio. Es otra de mi propiedad, pero
So va a tener que llenar esta forma y llevarlo al county, Lake County, en Crown Point.
llenarla y llevarla, porque no, aquí nomás tengo el primer piso rentado y en la Highland también tengo nomás el primer piso rentado.
So
No,
sí tiene que llenar esa forma.
okay.
He's good? Okay. So Nick, I think we're inclined, unless you tell me differently, we're inclined to charge the late fee for one of the properties since it was so recent and there's been problems there.
Yeah.
And waive the other one. And I'm going to make it very clear to him that if he's back in front of the board, they'll be charged with both late fees next time.
And we do take rental registration payments through the mail as long as it's postmarked prior to April 15th. He can, if he's out of the country, he can mail it to City Hall and we'll process it and send him his receipt. So
Okay.
it's also an option.
So can you explain to him that for 511 Highland, we're going to apply the late fee?
So para el property en la Highland Street sí le van a cobrar el late fee. Se lo van a cobrar.
¿Por qué?
Porque ha tenido
Well,
warnings
Conkey
ahí.
was the one that had the
Ha
issues.
tenido
Okay,
warnings.
can you tell him we're going to do Conkey, sorry.
It's
235 Conkey is the late fee.
Conkey Street van a cobrar los $500.
Sorry.
Pero ¿por qué motivo si a mí nunca me han dado
Why are they charging on Conkey Street? What is why, he's asking why are you charging on Conkey Street?
Because he's been here before, 3 years ago, for a late fee, and they were waived.
Porque en el año 21 le dieron también un pase para que no pagara los $500 y estos son los, ha tenido estos warnings ahí.
Pero a mí nunca me dijeron de estas cosas. Cuando yo vine la otra vez a la corte, yo solamente vine porque no se había pagado esto, pero yo acababa de comprar las propiedades, apenas me había mudado aquí a Hammond.
¿Cuándo la compró?
Hace 3 años, yo por ahí más o menos.
He said he didn't know anything about these warnings. He bought these properties in 2021 and he didn't know anything about these warnings.
I understand, but they were waived that time because of that. There's been issues at that property, and they're late again. So we could apply the late fee to both properties. We're trying to meet in the middle somewhere. So to let him know that we can change it to both properties if he wants to argue about it.
Okay.
He does live in Hammond on New Hampshire, actually, I'm sorry.
No van a cobrar por el
Yeah,
otro property en
7741
Highland Street
New
nomás por
Hampshire. So
Concord.
he got,
So,
Pero
sí,
no entiendo por qué, porque a mí nunca me dijeron de estas irregularidades.
sí, dijo que antes they waived it, en 21 no cobraron los $500. So,
No,
como
porque
te-
todavía no era mi propiedad. O sea,
Ya-
apenas había comprado yo la casa. Esos problemas nunca me los dijeron para yo.
Pero lo que dijo, si quiere discutir, lo va a poner en los dos properties, o si no quiere discutir,
Okay.
continuar, okay? Tell him.
That part made sense? Okay. Okay, so then that's what we're going to do.
A motion to apply the late fee to 235 Conkey and to waive the late fee for 511 Highland.
Could you make sure he knows that whatever safeguards he needs to put in place to make sure this doesn't happen again, he needs to do, because the next time if this happens again, both late fees will be
Si
applied.
pasa esto otra vez, van a cobrar por los dos properties.
And I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Entonces,
Cynthia, can you have him stick around for his paperwork until this is over? He can stick around
Okay,
to pay
dice
it.
que tiene que esperar para que le dan los papeles después.
Okay, thank you. The meeting's now open to the public. Does anybody have anything they want to say? Okay. All good.
Oh, Chris today? Man, you didn't want to talk?
Well, you weren't very drugged today.
We were very drunk
We
today.
were, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, motion to adjourn.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.